What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we are here at the Nerd Castle with the next episode of Mountain Blade Warband. In the previous episode, we had made war with the Khergit Khanate. We had definitely just kind of snuggled them violently and choked them out until they'd finally given up. And I think they're probably going to be pining to get Ikamer back pretty soon. I think what I'm going to do in this episode is we just finally got done with our 30-day truce. After any war comes to its conclusion, you have 30 days of truce in which you kind of get a little bit of a breathing room, where you get extra relation loss if you end up declaring war on them in that period, I think. And I believe what I'm going to do in this episode is we're going to declare war. I'm going to have everybody gather here right now. And then let's go to the castle, and we need to talk to Deshavi first. And so we want to talk about, I guess we want to take a minute and talk about what our goals are for this series, because I do want to tell you guys I have been feeling a little bit fatigued by this series. I feel as though this series has been running for a very, very long time. I've been playing this game for going on, I'd say maybe, God, what month is it right now? It's April, and I think I started this a long, long time ago, I guess would be my point. And so I'm starting to feel as though this is kind of dragging on forever, and it has been making me feel a little bit tired. We want to dispatch an emissary to the Khergit Khanate, declaring war. There it is. And so we've declared war, and so the next thing that we want to do is ride down to Ikamer. It's a little disappointing that our base of command, kind of our shelter, is not close to where the enemy is at. But what we need to do now is get down here, and I guarantee you what they're going to do is they're going to try and make an early game push to take Ikamer back while their forces are strong. And so what we need to do is wipe out all of these little armies that are hiding along the periphery of our kingdom. And so we will tell Krayhask that he must surrender or die, and let's go into our first battle. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to preliminarily, if that's even a word, I don't think that it is, but I'm going to use it in this case. You can see my lovely army over here. I spent about, I got to be honest with you guys, I think I spent about 80 to 90 to 100 days in between episodes, just like setting up for a new army. So basically I got about 100 more veterans, 100 more archers, 100 more of just about everything. And so now we're sitting in an amazing spot with regards to how large. I think I'm employing over 700 men right now. So even if we lose soldiers, I can basically just kind of jump out of the combat real fast and get back to where I was at and get back into the fray very, very rapidly. The only land we have to worry about losing right now, I don't think the Khergits are going to come at us from any other direction beyond Ikamer. I really do think that Ikamer's... Wait, why is everybody cheering? Oh, that wasn't a cheer. That was a howl of war. Let's go ahead and send infantry forward. I'm going to have the archers step back, though. I don't think we have any archers, but if we did, I would step them back. Their armies do appear to have been resting in the backfield since we started this campaign. So the unfortunate part about all of this is they have made hay while sun is shining. While they've had peace, it appears as though they've done a pretty good job at raising armies which are quite capable of throwing us off. We have a lot of Vaegir marksmen in here. So let's go ahead and wipe them out now. And once we get rid of about the 140 to 150 men that are coming after Ikamer, I think the campaign that we have running will be enough for us to take care of the king if he decides to show up. Once all of those troops have been wiped out, we've gone ahead and we've taken them, we've treated them like a whiteboard and gone and eliminated them from our overall study period. We'll be in a much better position to make that push towards Tulga, and then to push even further towards all the castles that they're holding. So it's going to take us a while to clear all of those out, but we're going to have to do it. It's the little flies on our ass that we just kind of have to swat away. Did he reinforce, or is he retreating right now? What's going on over here? I hope our casualties weren't too bad during the course of this battle. I would really hate to lose. Just like, it's always a troop here, and it's that difference that tends to add up and make a sum way down the line when you're trying to cumulatively figure out how many troops you had in the first place versus how many you have now, and you're like, alright, well, one died in this battle, one died in this battle, and the next thing you know, you've got like 30 troops missing. We are going to be capturing. I would like to capture the lords if I could, but if they're not around, they're not around. We're right next to a garrison right now, so there's no point in not capturing all the armies that we can. Where's that other army at? I know he's around here somewhere. Okay, so there's the next one. Let's go ahead and run him down. And since we managed to get into position, we have 135 versus their 179. Apparently, those 5 armies that were following along behind me didn't add on. I still, a lot of the time, don't understand. I think the game largely just kind of, I'm not going to say it cheats, but it definitely gives itself a much larger radius for its own armies to add than it gives you. I've noticed it does that very, very frequently, where I've actually measured it out with my thumb on the screen before and been like, alright, my troops are a thumb length away. Their troops are almost a full, like, width of my hand away, if not at my hand and a half. How come their troops have managed to add, but mine have not? And it doesn't make sense a lot of the time. Just one of those things that I've noticed. That's one of those things that I've actually empirically validated, and I guarantee Really? Like, you're just gonna let the Mamluk ride in and kill one guy just automatically? Come on now, guys. Set up a shield wall, like, participate in the combat. Let's not be inefficient here. Don't throw your lives away. And if you're gonna throw your life away, at least make sure that you only get wounded. Try and get him. This mercenary cavalry is no fun. Oh, it's a Vaegir knight. I'm also a little confused as to why they have so many men and I have so few when my leadership is easily what theirs is right now. And why are you guys all turned around too? God. This is just a tactical nightmare. Get out from behind my troops, you douche. I'm gonna need the archers to fall back. Yeah, the leadership counts here are a little bit weird too. It definitely started them with more troops than it started me with, and I know my leadership's higher than theirs, unless they're using the cheat values. Some of the lords have cheat values, like the amount of leadership you could never have in order for them to be where they're at, which is kind of interesting as well. Like, a player would never be able to have the same amount of leadership that, say... Is just nobody charging here, or are we just kind of plumped up? Come on, guys, charge. You can do it. Charge. Disengage. Stop allowing, yeah, that right there to happen. See, if you guys had been on those archers right there, that wouldn't have happened. No, I'm definitely not going to let my troops attack without me. They're a bunch of, like, melon heads. So let's get back down to guarding Ikemir right now. I'm going to take a couple days off, and let's jump into the castle. Convert all of them into Huskarls. We lost 10 men. That's disappointing. But we can always deplete the garrison over here. So, no biggie. Not upset about it. It'll be alright. Throw them into the garrison so that we're not moving slowly, especially since we're up against an army that has a ton of guys running around. It also didn't spawn in any of our sharpshooters, which was kind of weird right there. I don't know. The game hates us right now. It'll be alright. We just gotta kind of suffer through it. Let's take some Mamluks since we're going to be doing a lot of field combat. Oh, we're at our max. Okay, never mind. We're not going to be able to take anybody else. I have a bit of a siege army right now in the hopes that we'd be able to take a castle in this episode, but I don't know. It might be a little bit too far away to count on being able to do that. Okay, so there's Rolf. Let's go ahead and chase down... Who is this? And we 100% need to join that battle. Because this is going to be one of those little fights. If I wasn't mistaken, I think I saw the king down to the south coming up. And so if we can wipe out two armies right here, it vastly increases our chances against the king once he decides to settle on him. Because obviously he's the ringer. He's kind of the Rocky Balboa right here, just being like, yeah, and just kind of making weird noises, and nobody knows what he says. All we know is that he's really good at punching stuff and also kind of tenderizing meat and lifting up those ox yokes. I always wondered if it'd be kind of funny if the farmer ever came back. You notice how all of that farm equipment is completely and totally unattended in every single one of, like, the Rocky movies? Or, for example, like at the meat packing plant, nobody notices that he's just sitting around punching meat. Doesn't seem very sanitary. And then with regards to the farming tools, it's just like, all right, well, he's been sitting around now just kind of roughing up the farming tools for at least the last 6 months. I'm pretty sure that yoke is not cheap. Knowing what I know about horsemanship, saddles aren't cheap, so I can only assume that an ox yoke is probably not cheap either. Let's go ahead and send in the cavalry before they start skirmishing. Make sure we do a little bit of damage. It looks as though all of our archers are doing what we pay them to do, which is slaughtering and putting sticks in the collective gullets of our enemies. And riding through the back right. Khergit. Oh, we lost our Khergit Lancer? That's gonna. I don't think we have any Khergit Lancers. That's gonna be one of the conglomerate troops that decided to join the fight from off to the side. I know those longbows don't do a lot of damage, but every time I see one of those Nordic troops with a longbow, it terrifies me. Just because historically, the longbow was a badass weapon. That thing would punch straight through plate mail. It punched through just about anything. Up until you got to the period where they had crossbows anyways. It's just like, God. Scary, scary weapon. I had somebody tell me one time, I had a teacher that told me this story, that that's where the middle finger comes from. So, for example, back in medieval times, if you captured a bunch of longbowmen, I think it was, I don't know if it was the French who did this to the English or the English who did this to the French, but anyways, if you captured the enemy's troops, my teacher used to say this, so if it's inaccurate, don't blame me. Blame the fact that I have a teacher who's overextending his knowledge. God, we are losing a lot of troops. Oh my god, that one javelin right there. I saw it too, damn it. I'm not going to allow them to attack without allies. I mean, that's just foolish on the face of the thing. They're very much up in my land right now, though. Do I not have anybody with first aid anymore? What happened to my first aid? This is a phenomenon with which I am exceptionally confused. Well, I need to know if any of you guys are going to jump in on this or if you're just going to, like, run away. Yeah, nobody's going to jump in to help us. Well, you guys just sort of casually sitting around. Probably need to take part in this fight. There's a victim right there. He's feeling brave. He's feeling brave. We will fight you to the end, sir. Every army that's not on the field is an army that I don't have to fight. I'll continue to say it every single episode. So we'll get rid of this 46 right here. I don't like the big giant jumble that all the troops are in at the moment. And I don't like the fact that they've all cumulatively come together to join the main force either. I would prefer... Do we even have any archers here right now? Okay, so let's have archers fall back to this position. But it might be a little bit too late. Let's go ahead and we'll have infantry move up a bit to cover them. Have them stand closer in case they have a lot of horsemen. And there. So anyways, as I was saying, back in the day when medieval armies used to capture one another, I had a teacher who told me the middle finger. You know, it's offensive for somebody to give you the middle finger in Western culture. Well, anyways, I had a teacher who told me one time that comes from the fact that people on the walls of a city that was under siege would show their middle fingers as a sign of contempt to show that they could still fire a bow and kill you. And I actually need to, like, hang back and not take any risks in this fight. Because ranged weapons are not going to be my friend here. That last fight that we lost because I wasn't paying attention and I caught a javelin was actually really clutch. We needed to win that one, and I kind of screwed that up by my own stupidity. Or at least my own ineptitude. I don't know if it was stupidity. Probably ineptitude, which can be a function of stupidity, so I'm close. I'm not on the mark. I'm not on the bullseye, but I think that works out better for the bull anyways. I don't think he wants me on his eye to begin with. Why did they call that the bullseye to begin with? Did they used to shoot bulls right in the eye when they would slaughter them for market or something with an arrow? I would assume that that's where it may have been derivative of, but hitting a bullseye, I don't know. Were you just like out in the field, be like, look, there's a wild bull, I'm gonna shoot for the eye. It seems like a pretty good place to shoot. If you go through the eye and hit it in the brain, it'd probably be quick and painless, or at least, I don't know, painless. I think if we're quantifying pain right there, it'd probably hurt like a bitch for just a second, but just be like, ow, that hurt so much for about 0.8 of a second. And so where are they riding off to? If I can snip some of these dudes off the back. Just like bait them to come fight me. Oh, they're going after Sungechi. Okay. So in that case, we are actually beholden to go hit one of their territories, because that will attempt to call them back off of it. So let's go to Tulga. They've only got 144 men. I'll trade a castle for this any day. And we're going to besiege Tulga. And we only need ladders. So let's get this thing trucking. And so what the AI should do now is it should pull off of that location and come back here to fight us again. That, or it'll just stick it out and try and get the castle, which, not the best plan in the world, but whatever. Let's lead our troops to victory here. And my preference, gentlemen, would be that you be up right there, archers, and then we'll just send everybody else up the walls. We've got more than enough overwhelming force to make this thing go, not quickly, but let's go stand on this little spiky ball. Or I'm sorry, that's not a spiky ball, it's a spiky stick. Let's go stand by the spiky sticks for a minute to make sure that we can't get shot. And after they clear off the walls, we'll go up and inspect the thing for victory. But for right now, we're going to play the coward. We're not going up there. Hands down, period. It's not going to happen. That ladder is for everybody else. We will not be competing. We will not treat this thing like Blizzard. We will install the ladder, but we will not moderate it at all. We will back the hell off. There is kind of a risky-looking archer right there, so I'll clear him so that he's no longer a terror on my troops. Be kind of humorous if that archer was sitting there and just be like, man, it sucks to be under siege. And he's like, yeah, it's better than a stick in the eye. And then right that moment he gets hit with an arrow in the eye. He's like, oh my god, I was so correct. This is so much worse. Awesome. This is so much worse. Oh god, my eye. And we've already taken the wall. Not bad. Not bad. At least we've partially taken the wall. He's throwing javelins, which makes me nervous. It looks as though we're doing pretty good work on the walls, though. I'm gonna hang out right here like I always do and try and get some freebie kills in. There it is. Very, very good. Just score a couple headshots while we're sitting around waiting for this thing to resolve it. I think I'm being a giant roadblock. Everybody's like, get out of the way! Ned says you've been blocking the ladder for the last, like, 5 days. Get out of the way, asshole! Just making all kinds of noise. Like, alright, alright. Cheap bastard only brought one ladder. It is your fault. I hate working for this king. This is the worst. I gotta give you guys an interesting story because we're kind of in the middle of dead time right now, so I almost got murdered by a spider. And you might be saying, pray tell, how didst the spider almost slay you when it is but a tiny insectoid? Arachnid, to be more specific. Well, there was a spider on the roof of my car while I was driving on the freeway, like on the ceiling, like the little cloth part. And I was like, oh, hey, what's up, little spider buddy? It's like a little, like, fruit spider or something, and I don't know. It was one of those little tiny spiders. And so it'd be even more insulting if I had died on account of one of them. But anyways, this little tiny spider's on the ceiling above my head, and I thought to myself, well, that's kind of inconvenient. I really hope that he doesn't decide to swing down and attack me with strings from his anus. And sure enough, I got to a stoplight, and all of a sudden I see him doing that repel thing that spiders do where they're like, no! And so I see him coming down from the top of the ceiling, and he's dangling in front of my face, swinging back and forth. And so I'm sitting there going, trying to blow him away, just like, no spiders on my face, not today. I am not in the mood for spider face right now. There are days where a good game of spider face is appreciated. Let's go ahead and retreat right now. And so we've done 78 kills to 110 of theirs. Let's go ahead and prepare the ladders and attack the walls one more time. I think all my archers were out of arrows. And so anyways, the spider gets down to about chest level, and I'm just like, well, I'm about to get murdered over a spider. Oh, and we are under attack. So now the strategy did work. The stratagem that I have employed did work out in the end. Only Lord Plyce is right there. Lord Plyce has managed to retreat, so I'm going to try and draw somebody. Wow, they're letting me get really close before they're bailing out. This is the first time I've ever seen the AI be so dead set on doing like one task. The Vaegirs has declared war on the Kingdom of North. That's fine. That keeps him busy. And so what I would like to do is after we take this, that pulled up, look at that right there. From Qdan, we're getting almost 10,000 dinars from a singular location. Ooh. Abandon the siege. Okay. So let's wait till they get a little bit further off, and then we'll hit this the second time around. Ikemur has been besieged by Khergit. Yeah, whatever. He's not going to do anything about all this, and by the time he's done with that, we're going to swing on over there and clean it on up. Or at least we're going to be all up in the city defending it. Make it a little bit more painful for him to try and take it. Archers! Archers on the ground now! There we are. We put the archers on the ground. I don't know if they reinforced this just a minute ago. They could have dropped off troops. That's the other thing that I didn't think to look for. Let's see if I can get a better shot off right there. Sometimes you can fire through the collision on some of this stuff. Alright, so that's taken care of. This guy's next. Down he goes. Lots of Serenade Master archers hanging out. Definitely problematic. I don't know if they dropped off troops or not. If they did, this could actually become a much more difficult fight than my original appraisal would have kind of given note to. Well, this campaign does not appear to be going very well. Maybe I overextended myself a tiny bit. We've got plenty of reinforcements. I think we got like 600 guys right here ready to roll. Take a look and see what their archery reinforcements are. Yeah, that's right there. Their archery reinforcements. Those master archers. Those master archers are bastards. Aimbody little buggers just hanging out there. Let me abandon the siege real fast to see what they have. Oh, they only have 35 guys and they held us off for that long? Okay, well, maybe I'm just bad at the game then. I want this city, though, before the end of this. We will take this city right now. Oh, God. They're doing a really good job of dogpiling on one person every single time. Let's go ahead and wipe this guy out. And then we'll break off the episode. In the next episode, we'll take Ikemur. But this is what I mean by trying to do like a world domination of this game is just taking entirely too long. I think I may have set the bar too high for myself. Definitely think I may have overspoke with regards to my boundaries right there. You guys are just being miserable embarrassments right now. I hate you guys so much. Oh my god, it's like an entire army of just master archers. Could there be anything more horrific? Like an entire army of just knights, I guess. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Alright. You guys want to keep like, oh my god, hold a front, stop this. Stop this right now. This is horrific. Those guys over there. Here, let me give you a flag, you idiots. There you go. Right there, morons. Go there. Make it happen, Captain. Allowing yourselves to be machine gunned to death. Where in the hell are you guys going? Oh my god. This is just a managerial failure. It's an infantry failure. Just nothing is working right today. There we go. And so now we let them just do whatever the hell they want. Put the archers up on this hill so that they have shots on all the archers that are hanging out over here. Ugh. That thrust can be so wonky. Like, I don't even think he actually completed that swing before it stopped my horse. He just had it cocked back. Weirdly enough. Yeah, forget you, man. You're getting captured right this second. The chances of me giving you an honorable anything are like 0. Alright, let's take one more swipe at this place. And then we'll actually come into the battle in the next episode. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for yet another episode of... God, they are just... How are they getting down from Ickamer so fast? Most ridiculous thing ever. There's no way. That's such a long walk. How are they simultaneously besieging and cutting me? Urgh. Starting to become frustrated with you, Khergits. Starting to become frustrated. Also, how do they have so many lords when they have like one castle? That's my other confusion here. It's kind of an odd situation to be in. And so instead, what I think I'm going to do is we will manage the Garrison. I'm going to break off the episode. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for yet another episode of Mount & Blade Warband. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.